Good to see you guys. It's good to be back. This morning, was good to be with the team. The walkthrough and the practice was efficient and crisp, all that. Guys are ready to get back to work. I think they see the challenge of a really good BYU team and the talent that's there and their record and kind of their rise, and they see that as a challenge. It'll be good to be at home. I know that to wake up and play football is always a cool thing on a Saturday morning, so we're excited for that. It's when you're cut wide open, you sit down, you bleed a little bit, and then it's important to rise up and fight again. And so, today was that day for us, and I think so far so good. Any questions?
Coach, when you're talking about getting cut wide open and then coming out today and doing that, how did you assess your team saying, hey, that's done, moving ahead?
Yeah, it was strong. I thought our leadership was strong. You could hear Hal Presley and Josh Cameron and Matt Jones. I'm looking this way. They're talking back that way. They were really loud in terms of good job and praise and, hey, we got to pick it up. And so you could just hear them throughout the practice, kind of coaching and critiquing and all of it. And so that was really good to see. I think that really stepped up today, and I can bet that that's going to continue throughout the week.
When you have a game like that, like you said, it's obviously emotional.
Mm-hmm.
As a coach, do you become, like, in the aftermath, do you become like as much like a counselor as a coach? I mean, just because obviously the emotions are raw.
Yeah, there was a lot of that going on in the locker room, and what's hard about that is that, we all get back at 3:30 or 4 o'clock, and so that thing just continues on in through the morning, and so there was a fair amount of that going on. In the locker room right after the game, there was that. When we got to the plane, I went up and down and did some of that too. But, we're a resilient bunch. The guys fight for what they believe in. I know they believe in us.
After the UCF win last year, you said that football is a game of random events and setbacks.
Uh-huh.
Colorado was both of those. How do you actually respond? What is the physical response? What do you want that to look like?
Yeah, to start fast, to have energy on the sideline, to compete to the next time that we get punched in the face, to bring our hands back up and throw a punch in return. I think, what's the struggle with losses like that is that, prior to having an experience like that, when there's a fight going on, everyone runs to the line to get in the fight. We're shoulder to shoulder, After something like that happens, when your heart's taken out, that hurts. And so you don't want to get hurt again. And so it can be where there's a fight going on. There used to be somebody right here shoulder to shoulder with me, and now where are they? Where'd they go? And so that is not something I feel is going to happen with this team. I feel the overall sense of urgency to get it right. And we got a great opponent, just looking ahead to really challenge us and bring out the best in us.
Coach, has Sawyer played his way into that starting quarterback role for the future?
I'm excited about Sawyer. I thought he really played well. I thought that, there was some, early on, everyone we played have played us some press man. And so there was, the running lanes were tight, the throwing windows were tight. He was throwing us open on a couple back shoulders. And then, the +1 quarterback run game really had to be kind of the answer there for a little bit, and he was doing that. And then to manage us through kind of where we got stalled out a little bit, to push through on the other side, a lot of that was Sawyer's leadership. And so really confident in him. And, I think he's getting better with each start. And so I'm looking forward to this next one.
Dave, there were a lot of good things to take out of that game the other day, one being special teams. I felt like y'all kind of dominated that area. Is that something that can continue?
Yeah, for all the struggles of last year, we were number one special teams unit in the league, and we've continued and really almost improved off of that from last year. And so we want to continue. This team we're about to play has got a good unit. They're explosive in the return game like we are, and they're big and physical, and they're going to be a challenge to hold up against with their rush. And so it's a great challenge. We're looking forward to it. I think special teams wise, be one of the stronger units we played.
How good is it to have Carl, or how good was it to have Carl back? And I guess how important is he to that secondary unit?
Yeah, it's huge. It was a must-have, and so I think for him to come back and not be 100% and to push through and to give of himself like that, from this time a week ago, we were all hoping, and we didn't really know it's about Thursday, And so I think to have him show up like that and compete the way he did just says a lot about him and his family and his upraising and all of it. Because he when the bell rang, he was ready to go, And so to have him back consistently now, right? We can really plan off him and really try to weaponize him, and we're going to need to moving forward.
You haven't found luck on the road yet, but at home there seems to be, y'all are dominating. Is there like a difference you see the team on the road as opposed to playing at home?
No, we want to win wherever we're at, and I think whether it's on the road or at home, it comes to, number one, us getting out of our own way, and just winning games by our attention to detail, our technique, our execution. And I look at the losses, the first half of the Utah game and the last quarter or so of this last one, right? We weren't playing with those things. And so we've got to put a full game together. And so we got an opportunity Saturday to do that versus a really good team.
Dave, you started the two-jack formation. I don't know if that was a matchup deal with Colorado. How did you feel like Steve Linton did?
Really good, yeah. He's been waiting to we've been playing so many running teams. He's, he gets, he's asking, am I leveraging, am I spilling? By the way, when am I going to rush, And so to get him to where we could open up and have him rush like that, I thought you kind of saw kind of what could be, I think there's still things that we can do better there in terms of, controlling the B gap and quarterback scramble and stuff like that. But his effort, his care factor, I take it a million times over. And so really happy for Steve and kind of his play and most importantly, what can become out of that. I think we can have a really good edge rusher here.
It looked like Garmin went out injured. What's his status heading into next week?
He's got an ankle sprain, so we'll see. I think he's probably questionable for Saturday.
Coach, winning the first game and losing, then winning, then losing, does it kind of create a little bit of frustration that you can't keep that momentum going?
Yeah, losing causes frustration, and so it's, we want to win, and so I think and when you have a game won and then you don't win it, that causes more frustration. And so I think the flip side of that is that the guys that are on our team, they all really care. They're all way committed. They all know what last year was. Some of them know what 21 was, and they know what's needed to take the next step, and they're all invested in it. And so I'm excited about that. I'm excited about, going to work with these guys.
You had such a good crowd at the last home game. Hoping, expecting that on Saturday?
Yeah, anytime we get that type of support, I think there's a kind of a feeding off of it that we get, whether that's on defense or whether that's after an offensive big play, and the sidelines kind of get going because the student section's going crazy and you can hear the roar from the crowd. And so we're all pushing for that. We have to be able to win games to be able to get that. And so I'm hopeful Saturday morning that we've got ourselves a good crowd. I think the team we're playing is a physical team. The quarterback's taking the next steps, and he's an effective, efficient passer. I think he's scary on the run. There are a lot of zone read and keeps off of the reads. I think they've got good skilled people. They can body you up and make a contested catch. They got guys that can run away from you. And so the O-line is the deal that sticks out the most to me, is that they're a veteran group and they played a lot together, and it shows on tape. It's going to test us. And so, yeah, it's going to be a battle. I think it'd be a good game to take in. We're looking to play our best.
Your line seems to have taken a step. Is there still a position battle there at left tackle? It seems like Alvin and Colton. I think
There is, yeah. I think if right now there's one of them that will play, better than average versus the run, then there's another one that will play better than average versus the pass. If we could mix the two, we'd have it licked, And so we're trying to be able to get the best out of each individual on their deficiencies. And so some of the mixing and matching has been because of that.
Dave, as good as Palmer's been, that punt coverage team, are there some specific guys on there that have really done the job? Because they just don't seem to give up anything.
Yeah, Josh White's a guy that sticks out. And then Micah would be another guy, I think there's dudes on there that play 100 miles an hour and want to hit people. We talk about running through smoke. Sometimes when you're up against the smoke, you don't know what's on the other side. And so to run full speed into it, and with a couple of these dudes, maybe have their eyes closed in that process and have no second thought about what's on the other side of it. That's what it takes to kind of plan that unit. And, Micah's that way, Josh White's that way. We've got some guys that are really excelling and really are excited about the growth of that. I think they're looking at it as an attack, which is cool to see.
Kind of a weird situation after the game or in the closing minutes of the game where got all these fans on the field and they're reviewing the play. Have you ever been in a situation like that?
Yeah, I think that anytime it's like that, that just gives you more time to pause on what could have been, or mistakes you made, and what changes you wish you would have made. And so I think, really that's more fuel to a fire, I guess. And so that is, when something like that, when you do lose and you're just given more and more time to think about it, right, the stronger that fire burns.
Dave, with morning practices, now you get a morning kickoff this week. Is that a factor at all?
It'd be awesome, yeah. That'd be good. That would be good. I understand. I have to believe from maybe another perspective. The morning games are probably tough to maneuver, but all of us are up way early, and to get up and just play football is something that I think we're getting accustomed to, and I think we got the most energy when it's that way. And so I think to be able to have a morning game like that, I think our guys do like that, and they look forward to it.
Dave, what specifically have you seen from BYU, offense, defense?
Defensively and offensively, line of scrimmage. I think they're physical up front. I think defensively, they're really, they remind me of West Virginia a year ago, when West Virginia really previous would, twist this, stunt that, blitz this, and then last year they played a little bit more quieter and a little bit more structured, and really played better. I see BYU the same way, and I think offensively, a lot of shifts and motions, probably similar in some ways to Utah's plan of attack, and they'll get it to where they can out leverage you, and a lot of backs and pistol, backs and gun, backs and far, splits are condensed, splits are wide, a lot of formations to work with and work through. And so they'll get you looking at all different types of things, and they'll run it right down your throat, and then they'll have the shot plays that come off of that. I think they're throwing for a lot more than they're running because of the shots that they take. A lot of quick game will carry over week to week, but they're a heavy game plan unit. So self-scout for us is really going to be key.
Thanks, y'all.
Okay,
Thanks, Dave.
thanks, guys.